What it do, my culture comrades? Big Drip signing in. Welcome to another edition of Quick Dip, baby. Got the pop culture family with me. TY Ty at the bottom. Get jacked 141 on my other end. Holla at me. What's going on, guys?
Hey, folks.
Ew.
Heyo. Drizzle.
Hope everyone has a good Christmas and a happy New Year.
Happy holidays to the people.
Yeah.
Drizzle, do me a favor. Tell the people what we're doing today.
What we're doing today, taking a quick dip around the industry. Got several topics. I think mostly a slow news week, but I noticed, a couple things revolving around Walter Hamada. One being the Ray Fisher thing. He says he doesn't want to work on the production with anything associated with him. There's a lot of speculation going around about Michael Keaton replacing Ben Affleck. And this is old stuff, right?
Yeah.
This is old stuff. It's just being kicked back up. And then, I have a couple other things. I got a couple tidbits about WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2. And we'll just do the thing, talk and have fun and dip quickly into it. I created so I've been working on a new intro for this, and I didn't have much time to work on it today, but so it's not the finished product, but
the new song sounds like an Imagine Dragons hit single.
Yeah. But that was actually one of the things I wasn't too crazy about was the music in it. But
no, I like it. It's intense. It sounds like the lead into like a big Lord of the Rings battle, right? Like the three of us are gonna go fight some orcs. Yeah, I like it. It's epic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got two small pieces of news if you want to blow through it real quick.
Go ahead, Jack.
So we reported this last night. Famed designer Pierre Cardin has died at 98.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. And then Dawn Wells, who played Marianne on Gilligan's Island, she died of COVID at age 82, which means Ginger, the actress who played Ginger, is the last surviving member. Her name is Tina Louise of Gilligan's Island.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, Dawn Wells. I used to watch Gilligan's Island a lot when I was a kid when I didn't have cable, and it was like always on. So Dawn Wells passed away because of COVID. So remember, folks, be safe out there.
Yeah, wear your mask.
Gilligan's Island was like the Lost before Lost.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hey, you know what? And that's funny you say that because when he said Gilligan's Island, he was like, "Oh, that's the last remaining cast member." I was like, "Yo, Lost didn't happen that long ago." I was thinking like Lost is only like 15 years old. What is he talking about? I got confused.
But Tom Hanks was on Graham Norton and he showed that he has a shaved head.
Who's that?
Tom Hanks has a shaved head, like he's let this grow out and shaved it from the top.
Oh, he's doing Pinocchio.
Yes, yeah. For the movie that he was filming when he got COVID, it's a movie about Elvis Presley being filmed in Australia, and the world went nuts because he shaved this part off, but he left it like right here, so he kind of has like a Patrick Stewart thing going on.
Okay.
That's going viral. Jen Aniston kind of got in trouble. It's kind of a stupid story, but it's a story. She shared a picture on Instagram of an ornament that says, quote, "Our first pandemic, 2020. And of course, people are losing their minds. Like it's insensitive, sarcastic, it's mean. You should take it down. Again, this is cancel culture, which we're not down with here at Pop Culture Corner, but I thought it was stupid.
We don't.
It's an ornament. It's an ornament. It's an ornament.
But this isn't our first pandemic. What is she talking about? I know for a fact she was alive for more than one pandemic, so I'm not really sure what she's talking about.
Maybe first lockdown, because we've had pandemics before, but this is our first lockdown. But whatever. Like people are saying, oh, it's insensitive or all that. You know, it's like people looking for something to get outraged about. It's like, dude, go.
That sounds about right.
Tournament. You know.
You said that was Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, she.
Maybe
Jen Aniston.
She's like never.
I'm not mad at her. I'm mad. Yeah.
Yeah, she never
No.
gets in trouble.
No, it's a goddess amongst men.
Yeah.
We actually just talked about cancel culture last episode.
Black Label, make sure you go check that bad boy out.
Speaking of which, well, I was talking about the actual episode 20, because that's where we started that conversation.
Go check that out.
Yeah. But I had the hardest time. Oh my God, I had the hardest time with this most recent episode, getting it up and out. Because, all right, so the first time I edited it, I had everything ready to go. And then on I forget what day it was. I think Monday I had a date. So you can like schedule it to like upload right to YouTube. So I did that, and I just, you know what I mean? I usually good to go. Don't have to worry about it. But bada bang, bada boom. It's on there that, you know, yeah. And then, and whatever, typically how it goes is say it's a 2-hour episode. It'll take 2 hours to upload into YouTube. So before I went to bed on Sunday night, I scheduled it and I was like, cool, it'll be up by Monday morning. And then on Monday, I just got sidetracked and I never paid attention to it. So I go back and I go to track some analytics and it's not there. And I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
So then I went to the editing software and it said 100. No. It said we had to still wait 1,000 minutes for it to be uploaded.
I hate that. Why does every modern technology do that? I just bought a couple of games. My PlayStation does the same thing. It was some ridiculous number because my Wi-Fi was really slow at the time. So it was like 2 days worth of downloading. So it said like 20,000 plus minutes. Like you can't just like we have all this advanced AI and you can't write out the word days or hours. It has to be a minute. I got to do math every time my Wi-Fi is slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
what kind of nonsense is that?
So then I went back in, fixed some things, redid it, and then it didn't work again. And then all of a sudden half the graphics. So like once you get like a third of the way through, some of the graphics they were just gone. So I had to push it through. So like our whole spotlight, there's no back behind us. It's just a black,
the void.
It's just, it's just a void behind us. So some things happened and it was frustrating. So I just want to say to anyone that, you know, watches it, that's not usually how it goes, but this was quite the ordeal.
Don't be afraid. The void won't hurt.
But I did
you.
have, but I did. I was able to keep my new epic getting into gaming intro, which I was very proud of, and I was very happy about it.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm gonna have to watch that after we hang up. I haven't watched it yet. I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's like a present to me.
But it is a present to you, and like the way the music hits on it, and the way so like the first clip on it plays, and then the second clip kind of like integrates with our video, and it says game over. But like while the music's playing and like you're talking over it, and at this episode you were talking about Nintendo, so like it all just like kind of clicked well. So yeah, you'll like it.
Word. Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to Drip.
Yeah. It's quick
Jack, I haven't seen
your real present.
Yeah, I know. What a little bastard. Jack, I haven't seen you since Christmas. How was Christmas?
Christmas I was waiting to get on, but I look very nice in my suit and tie.
Oh, look at you.
I'm glad that you guys did it. I drank, I think, a bottle of champagne.
Throw it in our faces one more time, though. Just one more time.
How
just kick it right in there.
Every show. I didn't realize it'd been that long. Jeez.
You're
20 shows between Christmas and now.
You're a snazzy guy, Jack. You know, don't be ashamed of it. Let it happen. Yeah. Let the drip show.
Just, the news has been slow. Like it just, except for Wonder Woman news, and maybe like DC just announced stuff. it's been kind of a slow 2 weeks ish.
Yeah,
You know,
it
in terms
happens.
of pop culture.
It
Not
happens.
as exciting as that Disney investor call.
Yeah. That's how it always goes. We get it's real dry for a little bit, and then bam, we get smacked with 60 plus announcements. That's how the game goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we start with the one that you had brought up, Jack?
Okay. So most of you people are probably familiar with John Campea. I like him a lot. He's actually a really good source for news and info and tidbits. He's a big YouTuber. Earlier today, he reported that, according to the New York Times article, and again, this connects also with the Ray Fisher thing. New York Times did a big thing with Walter Hamada, who's the president of DC Films. New York Times is a legit source. It's a major source. It's probably the most famous source in the world, not just in America. John Campea was reporting on his podcast that, yes, they're doing 2 Batman franchises, which we already kind of knew, and that Ben Affleck is going to be replaced. And I was shocked. I was surprised. I was like, damn, because when John said it, I immediately trusted him. But he basically sourced another website, and that website is again, not a major website. They're citing the New York Times article. And apparently, unfortunately, this is spreading. But in the New York Times article, I've read it several times. I have it in front of me. What Walter Hamada does say is we're going to have 2 concurrent Batman franchises. We're going to have Robert Pattinson here, and then we're going to have the DCEU over here. Later in the article, they talk about how Ben Affleck had left back in 2017.
Correct.
And that's it. I think John or whoever he was citing made the mistake of kind of combining the 2 thoughts together and confirming, even though it's not confirmed, that Ben Affleck is no longer going to be Batman. They're going to replace him in the DCEU. Now, that may very well still happen. I know, Drip, you think that's probably an inevitability. They're going to have to figure out a new Batman. But a lot of people are misquoting the New York Times article, that the piece they did with Walter Hamada. What he does say, and I'll quote, is, coming up, for instance, Warner Brothers will have 2 different film sagas involving Batman, played by 2 different actors running at the same time. Doesn't mention Affleck, nor does he mention Affleck's being replaced or Affleck is staying either. However, a lot of people are now, I think, misread that as, that means he's out and he's already being replaced. And we just have to be very careful, especially as, we're kind of becoming journalists right now. I mean, this is kind of a news show, when we read something. And John, I like John a lot, you have to be careful what we say and not to misread something. I've been on this for the last couple hours, and there is no official source saying Ben Affleck is definitely out, because we know he's in the Flash film. It's already been confirmed he's going to be at least in the Flash film.
Yeah,
I think that door's open. We talked about this. We're not going to hear anything about this for a while anyway.
Yeah. So the whole Flashpoint thing is very much. So I just want to go on record real quick as to saying, I am not a fan of Ben Affleck as Batman, but everything that's
really?
wrong, hey, wait, there's a big but.
Never heard that before.
There's a big but. Never trust a big but and smile. But everything wrong with him in the movie, I don't blame him. Yeah. I blame Zach. I don't blame Ben. Even though I'm not a fan of him particularly, I don't believe it's his fault. So I think it really depends on him coming back. I think it depends on whether or not he wants to come back. Because there are plenty of people who like him as Bats. There's plenty. He has a fan base, right? So I think the likelihood of him coming back is pretty strong, as so long as he wants it. But I don't think he does. There was a lot of immediately after he was done doing all of his Batman roles, he was in a really dark place. Things were bad for him. He was getting a lot of angry fans hitting him up with death threats and shit. You know what I mean? Because Batman fans are a little crazy. So I think it all depends on whether or not he wants it.
Yeah, like I always said, and we've talked about this going back months, that probably the door is open for him because, later in the article, it mentions that Ben Affleck wanted to move on. The article is referring to what happened in 2017.
Just what was that?
I was itching.
Or misreporting things. He's flexing.
No, I was itching.
It looked like you were flexing on us. It was like, I thought you was getting mad. You was like, stop talking.
Oh,
And you
no,
started
no.
flexing on it.
No. Listen,
Oh, God. That
Ben
was funny.
Affleck is coming back on HBO in the series as Batman. So
I think so. Yeah,
all
you're
of
very
this-
confident on
all
that
of
one.
all of this is nonsense.
Yeah.
So do you think
Nonsense.
so? Just let me ask you this: do we get the best of both worlds, or you think it's one or the other? We're supposed to get the Gotham PD show based on Robert Pattinson's Batman, and then on HBO, and then also, according to you, Ben Affleck on HBO. Do you think we get the best of both worlds, or you think they're going with one or the other?
Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Because once it's all said and done, and once it's all introduced, it's not on paper anymore. It's actually happening. I think people will start realizing that a world with maybe 2 Batmans is okay. I mean, eventually we're gonna have technically 3, because Keaton will come for a cameo. So you know what I mean, that'll bring the 3rd one in.
Yep.
But the further we get down this pipeline, you know what I mean? Right now, all we can do is speculate on the multiverse, but once it's actually starting to happen, I think it'll be easier for people to realize that this is all happening. And I do think I am very stern, and I trust the people who have said it. I do not trust the people who just, because this isn't the first time I've heard this. John isn't the first person to misquote this or mistake. I said this 2 days ago, and I called them on it then. I was like, well, who's your source? And they couldn't get exactly. So don't report it as breaking news. False reporting on it. And now I kind of take it more seriously than I did a couple years ago. Because now that we do this, you're falsely spread. Because surrounding Ben Affleck's Batman, there's always been this uncertainty, especially after Justice League. It's always rumors and people making stuff up. And that's what's going to contribute to him just hanging it up. Is all right, I'm done with this. Yeah. I'm done with these crazy people.
Yeah, and that's what I was referring. That's exactly what I was referring to. Now, I don't think both shows are in possibility, but I think the general audience will get confused because we'll have Ben Affleck as Batman on his show, but then we'll just have Gotham PD on Robert Pattinson's universe, right? So people might get confused and think, oh, that's the Gotham PD that works with Ben Affleck, because there is no Batman here for them to clearly, you know what I'm saying? And I'm strictly talking normies here for this part of it. If there's not 2 different Batman on each show, then they're going to have a hard time understanding that this is, in fact, 2 different universes. It's going to be one of those shows like every time one of us talk to them, we have to explain, no. See, these are 2 different shows, and this is why, and blah, blah, blah. It'd be too much there would have to be too much backstory explaining for a normie to understand and watch. You know what I'm saying? Like a normie would be like, yo, I'm good. Mm-hmm. That sounds like I'm getting a homework assignment. I'm good. I'm not going to watch it. You feel me?
Maybe. I see what you're saying. Walter Amada, what he says is that, and I want to get his. He says if the stories are well written and the production values are strong, then there will be little sign of fatigue. He goes on to say that he thinks that moviegoers, audiences will be able to differentiate between the 2. Again, I'll give you an example. The Marvel Netflix shows were supposed to be MCU, but not really. Now it looks like they may not be. But you could watch them individually without having it connected to you don't have to watch the MCU movies to enjoy the Marvel shows or vice versa. Even though they're both in the Marvel universe, loosely connected. I think the Gotham PD show will probably not involve Batman. It might deal with different stuff that Batman's not involved in. And you could have a Ben Affleck show. I really would like the Ben Affleck show, even if it's a one-time miniseries. I think people will understand it because we've already seen it with the Joker. No one's like, hey, what happened to Jared Leto? Why wasn't he in the Joaquin?
Yeah. But that's because
Okay, this is a different
there was a
story.
Joker there. You know what I'm saying? If we don't ever see Robert Pattinson in this show, I think there's going to be people having a hard time understanding. If you never see Robert Pattinson's Batman, and then when he does randomly show up, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't get it." You know what I'm saying? Like they would have to make it
right around it.
clear. Yeah,
I think right around it, like with decent writing, and that's the main thing.
Yeah.
You may not even need to know who the Batman is. It could be ambiguous. It could be anyone's Batman. But like, because I have no idea what the Gotham PD show is even going to be like. Is it going to be dealing major crimes or smaller crimes?
Yeah, I don't know. It has a lot of potential because for the first like 3-4 seasons, I was hooked on Gotham. I was watching that bad boy. I was watching it on a regular basis. So this show has a lot of hope. It's you know, a Gotham PD show is everything Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wanted to be, but really couldn't because they're not interesting enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And look, we already have it. We have the Flash TV show, which has been going on. Was like, wait, that's not the same guy. People make jokes, but they understood, like, okay, that's that's in the TV show. Like, people are able to, I think, separate the two. And now, if they do with Batman, because Ty, I think your source is the gentleman from Lightcast, right?
Yeah,
because he said months ago. I remember I watched that podcast, and people were just crapping on him. Like the media, even people at Warner Brothers were like, don't listen to whoever this is. He is lying. And he said, look, I have a source, or I know that Ben Affleck has signed. And then lo and behold, weeks or maybe a month later or 2 months later, we revealed that Affleck is coming back for the Flash. So I think it's possible. And, you know, you're right, Tyler. We got to be careful what we report, and not us. I mean, we're careful, but especially someone who's got a big following like he does. John does, just to be careful who we cite, and to make sure we read these articles.
Yeah, I don't feel like the New York Times is really the people I would go for pop culture news anyway.
Exactly.
You
but
know,
the people who are reporting from that article are saying a lot of things that are not being said.
Yeah.
They're connecting dots that aren't there.
And it's frustrating, right? It's frustrating when you know, like yourself, right? So yourself, you're reading the article. And you're looking at this guy, what he's saying this, and you're like, how did you get that from that? And like you don't mean to get aggravated, but you do, because you know that that's all he's doing is now he's just creating clickbait for himself. A channel that does a lot of clickbait is Emergency Awesome.
They are. Yeah, they are. I can't stand them. I can't stand him, and I can't get away from him either. Mind you, I never click on this dude's videos, but forever popping up on my page, yo, and I don't understand why.
And I've called him out almost, 900 times at this point. I'm like, dude, I'm like, how can you sit there? And it aggravates me because he has, 1 million followers, but like the titles of his video will be like, Hawkeye extended trailer. And then he mentions, like, someone in an article 3 weeks ago mentioned the word Hawkeye, and then that's how he got his title. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah. And it especially now that we do this, it aggravates me when people do that.
Yeah. Well, so on
he is
Jack's
by
side
far the worst offender.
So but that's blatant lying and clickbait, right? On Jack's point and what Jack brought up, it's more of like interpretation and perspective are real things. You know what I'm saying? Because like you all of you read the same article, but everybody interprets it different, right? He saw something, you guys did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just interpretation at that point. Emergency Awesome is just blatant.
John did something silly in the video, and I've linked it to him in the Twitter page because I was surprised he did that. When he cites the source, so you see the article he's citing, which is an article citing, he does this. The source is, and he literally does that. The source, he does that with his mouth. I'm like, what was it? And it wasn't until the comment section was like, I think he said Movie Web. So I went and found the Movie Web article, and I wrote to that guy. I'm like, listen, you're citing the New York Times article. I think you might have misread it because I've read it several times now. It doesn't say that Affleck's been staying or going. It just says that they're going to have two different Batman franchises. That's it.
Yeah. And
then later on, it mentions that Affleck has left.
Jack.
That's it.
Jack, did you just you literally track these guys down and just
Yeah, you
message them?
did. Yeah, you did. How dare you lie about Ben Affleck?
Because when I heard
it.
the news, I was like,
I
"Oh,
love
damn,
that.
that sucks." And I trust John. And I was like, "Wait a second, who's he citing?"
The last
this
thing I
person's on
want-
Twitter. He just literally does that.
The last thing I want is an angry Jack in my DMs.
Yeah, watch out, Angry Joe.
Yeah, right. Saying that you lied.
How dare you lie about Ben
Um,
Affleck? I love Ben Affleck.
And there's another thing. So there's another DC related thing. So Ray Fisher
always DC.
tweeted today that
Mhm.
yeah, it's really at least I don't consider it a bad thing. I don't consider it a good thing. But Ray Fisher just will not work under Walter Hamada, and that's going to cause issues for any future Snyder cut. Snyder's Justice League. Like, say they get greenlit for a second season. At this time right now, he's not coming back for it. And it doesn't seem like he's the type of guy to go back on his word. So unless Walter Hamada has nothing to do with HBO Max, Cyborg's not, they're going to have to recast or do something. So, our hopes that Ray Fisher would come back are getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer.
Yeah, I'm almost.
He called him
positive.
an enabler. He called him a dangerous enabler. And when it came to the Justice League investigation, the way he handled it wasn't done correctly.
Yeah,
And I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting.
yeah,
But
I'm almost positive.
That's a big hit.
I'm almost positive Warner Brothers is just going to recast. I can say that with almost confidence that they're not going to, unless it makes them look bad, unless it shines like a red light on them, they're going to just recast. If they can get away with it unscathed, they're just going to recast. They're not going to fight for this guy. I'm sorry.
His quote is, Walter.
No, I don't think they will either.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I don't. At this point, if this was 2 months ago, I probably would have battled you on it just because.
Yeah.
Simply due to the fact, all right, it would look bad on their part if they were all right, we're cutting ties with you. But now that he's the one who came out and said, listen, I'm not working for Walter Hamada.
Exactly.
Now it seems like they've been backed into a corner and they're not going to get rid of Walter just yet. I mean, technically he's not done anything wrong. He didn't help any situations, but nor did he create them. So
exactly.
I mean, here's the thing. From the New York Times article, it seems like Walter's maybe now you might say he's kind of loosely their Kevin Feige. He's overseeing everything. The HBO Max stuff. He's overseeing the theatrical films. It's his decision to do the Wonder Woman simultaneous.
Yeah.
And I don't think this guy's going away. And I don't know if Walter should go away because it seems like this stuff was happening. And Walter, look, when you're a boss and this happened in life, and you have two employees that are fighting with each other, you don't necessarily always take sides. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but he doesn't want to be I'm with Ray Fisher. Let's get rid of Jeff Johns and everyone and all this other thing. And I feel like maybe he might have unfairly targeted Walter Hamada. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes with this investigation. All we know that an investigation was done. I know Gal Gadot threw her support behind him. I know Aquaman, Jason Momoa threw his support behind him. And I think Zach is kind of being quiet right now because Zach's like, hey, I want to do a Justice League too. If I say something, that could be jeopardized. I'll be like, hey, you're being a douchebag. We'll give Justice League 2 to Joss.
Yeah.
Well, God. Oh, God. I don't even know what I would do. But that's the interesting part is Zach is quiet about it. And he's said before, that he supports Ray and everything that Ray's doing. But I don't see him picking a side any further than that. Just simply due to, hey, sorry, dog, I support you, but it's a dog-eat-dog world out here. I'm trying to continue, my DC run, and I cast you. I love you. I really do. But, now you're taking it a bit far. You're saying you're not going to work with them. You don't want to be associated with a production under his name. Now I've supported Ray Fisher since the day he said it. But this part of it, I don't know. Yeah, they've done everything they've done, or at least they've tried. I mean, there's been some things that have been sketchy, but now I'm kind of getting to the justice kind of aspect of it. It's like, all right, now you're crying, and now like, you know what I mean? Now you're whining a little bit, and it's like, I don't know.
I felt like that since day one. And now it's really just getting to the point of I'm not even willing to listen to you anymore, Pippin, because like you just won't stop crying. Like, they, from what I've read now, I haven't been keeping up with it as much as you guys have. But last I heard, Warner Brothers was taking steps to right this wrong, right? And like, do something about it, right? Like they're not firing people, they're not opening lawsuits, but they're trying to mend this situation, right? For the sake of everybody. And I think that's completely respectable. We're talking about very much he say, she say kind of deal. Yeah. So I think it's very appropriate and respectable on their end to just kind of, mend this without kind of making a big deal out of it. But no, that's not good enough for him. Oh, now it's, I won't work with this guy. Like that. I in no way, shape or form do I ever see Warner Brothers picking Ray Fisher over Walter ever. Like if they will kick Ray Fisher to the curb. We don't need you. You feel me?
That's what part of Ray Fisher's campaign and everything, but you don't want to cut ties to, because look, it's not like Ray Fisher's in a place where Gal Gadot is or Jason Momoa is or even Ben Affleck is. They're not hungry for work. They're big stars. If they have a lot of opportunities for Ray, this was his opportunity, and you don't want to, sever bridges like this because you don't want to put someone like Zack Snyder in a difficult place. And look, Zack could play Peacekeeper in the future. Like, look, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, saying like he's a dangerous kind of enabler, that's pretty strong language as far as Twitter's concerned to say about someone. What do you want? Do you want you want to just start firing anyone you don't like? You can't even do that either,
Yeah.
We know Whedon is gone, but I don't know what situation with Jeff Johns is, but he is a very talented writer for DC Comics. He's very much involved with the CW verse. They're not just going to fire him just like that, even if he wasn't.
Jeff Johns has been a part of DC in general for years now. There's no way in hell they'll pick Ray Fisher, a dude who did one mediocre movie as Cyborg, over a guy who's worked over a decade with DC Comics. No.
Yeah. You know who I like? I like that kid from Doom Patrol that plays Cyborg. He's not bad.
Oh, I don't like him.
Okay.
You don't?
No, I don't know. No? He's not bad. Whatever. I think it's the makeup. It looks like a dude wearing like Comic-Con makeup and
it's that's old school Cyborg look. Like that's like back in the day Justice League, like the Silver Age of comics. That's how Cyborg looked.
Yeah, I don't mind him. And I mean, speaking of that Jeff Johns used that Cyborg as like an insult. Yeah, he used it as like an insult to Ray Fisher. Like, look what we did. We didn't need to put a cyborg in this show because really you didn't. But they did to kind of spite Ray Fisher and like be like, look at this.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, you didn't need cyborg. Yeah, you didn't need what Doom Patrol do you know that had the cyborg?
Dude, I'm pretty sure it was you. I asked. I was like, "Why is Cyborg?" I wasn't even when I first saw it. I was like, that can't be Cyborg because he's not part of Doom Patrol, not to my knowledge." And I'm pretty sure it was you that I asked. Was like Cyborg ever part of that? It's funny you say that. So I was thinking the same thing.
Because I looked into it and Doom Patrol wasn't my thing. It's just never was.
Me neither. I never even heard of it until they dropped. Honestly, I had no idea.
Yeah, and I love the show, which led me to kind of do some back research on it. And I haven't come across a story yet with Cyborg as part of the Doom Patrol. So
Yeah.
that was straight.
Yeah.
That was just a straight kick in the face to him.
And look, I just want to point out, like, you two aren't really on the same page as me, but a lot of people are. Every YouTube channel I watch, everybody I've ever talked to, we're not happy with DC's current live action run. And Doom Patrol is proof that they are capable of doing it. So I'm not really understanding why everywhere else they keep messing up and they're just dropping the ball so heavy. We have the first Wonder Woman. We have Shazam. We have Doom Patrol. All proof that you're capable of doing this. Why can't you deliver on a regular basis? Is that too much to ask for in my extended universe, that you deliver, that, you know, your good movies outweigh your bad ones the same way the MCU does? Is that too much to ask? Because it seems like it is.
I don't know.
I would say that as many YouTubers there are that feel like they've dropped the ball, there are as many YouTubers and fans who do like the movies that you don't like. Otherwise, we would not be getting Snyder Cut. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are enough of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, we like Division and Man of Steel and BBS. Enough of them where Warner Brothers is like, hey, we can make some money off of this. So I think right now, because I think where Justice League failed is that they were like, let's try to make a Marvel movie. And they shouldn't try to make a Marvel movie. I think Marvel does its own thing, you know. And I'm willing to say this. I love the MCU. For every remarkable Marvel movie, there's about 3 or 4 that are just, they're okay. They're fine. You know, they're okay movies. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I'd put in that column. I love the first one. I thought the second one was okay. But but fans are okay with that. The Marvel fans are okay with that. You will never see them crap hard on any of the Marvel movies, even the ones they don't like.
Yeah. Isn't that
go right for the jugular?
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah.
Like for instance, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a great example. You know, people went into that movie went into that theater that day, like expecting this epic, and like came out and it was just like, all right.
Meh. Yeah, it was meh.
But you never heard another word about it.
Yeah.
Ant-Man,
because it was so meh.
Ant-Man 2.
Also
everyone's just like, but did you see that post-credit scene? They disappeared. That sets it up. I'm like, all right. Did you see the whole rest of the movie?
But we're talking about 2 very meh movies, right? If we're talking about bad movies on a regular basis, I see the first 2 Thors get crapped all over on a regular, especially a Dark World. I see that movie get torn to shreds on a regular basis because that's a bad movie. That's not a meh movie. That's arguably a bad movie.
I like Thor: The Dark World. I would say maybe it's a little weaker. I felt the same way of Captain Marvel. The only reason I went to see Marvel, and the only reason I think it made a lot of money is because everyone knew it was going to tie directly to Endgame. Yeah, but I didn't think Captain Marvel was.
Let's talk about the real reason that it made a lot of money.
We woke over here. Kevin Feige is woke.
That's exactly why it made that much money.
But I mean, it's a very meh movie, right? It's not bad by any means.
It's very forgettable. It's the only one I haven't bought yet. Like, I could still buy it right now, and I'm like, I'll wait.
I'll wait. I'll let it go down another $2, then I'll buy it. It'll be like 55 cents by the time Jack buys it.
The Ultimate Edition, when I heard the edition, I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll add to my collection. Yeah. But even Captain Marvel, I'm like, yeah, I'll wait.
So DC aside, I want to talk about a couple movies that we've talked about at length already, you know, at other times. But I grabbed a tidbit from somebody that I can't say who it is, but it looks like we have a little bit of a description for Doctor Strange 2. Okay. And what it is Doctor Strange is researching the Time Stone. A friend turned enemy foils his plans, and upon his plans being foiled, Doctor Strange unleashes an unspeakable villain. Now, there are 3 things that I would like to talk about within that short.
Who's the villain? Huh?
Oh, Mordo.
It
Got
could
it.
be. It could be.
No,
It could also.
It could be
It-
Dormammu.
Again, I have 4 different
Huh?
four different. So if you're talking about a friend turned enemy,
It's what's his face,
could-
the black dude.
that's who he just said, Baron Mordo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it could also be Wanda Maximoff.
Oh, huh.
She could go insane
Yeah.
after losing her children in the events of WandaVision.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange 2 and WandaVision are going to tie directly together. Doctor Strange might even be in WandaVision. We know that Wanda's going to be in Doctor Strange 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then that leads me to the Time Stone. So the Time Stone's not currently in stone form.
Okay.
It's in ash.
Yeah.
It's in ash form. Because if you remember, Thanos says, I reduced them to ashes. And
Yeah.
then Mark Ruffalo says, you used them 2 days ago. And he says, I used the stones to destroy the stones. But the Russos went on record saying they're reduced to ash, but they can be put back together. So we might see the Infinity Stones pop back up.
So, okay. So here's my theory, right? Now, I believe I said this before when we were still talking about WandaVision on a pretty regular basis. I believe WandaVision will essentially be Agatha kind of locking Wanda in a mental kind of prison, if you will, or a magical prison, if you will, right? Hence the whole 50s sitcom vibe, the whole Vision being there, etc. Whether it's Agatha doing it or it's just Wanda unintentionally like locking herself in this reality, either way, whatever, same difference, right? Doctor Strange is the reason she comes out, right? And then we get kind of a Phoenix Saga kind of deal with Wanda where she kind of snaps, goes crazy, loses control. She doesn't really know how to control her reality warping abilities as of right now. Anyways, she's the big bad you're referring to in sort of a Phoenix kind of way, Dark Phoenix sort of way.
Yeah, and and then it says Doctor Strange will release an unspeakable. So release is the key word. So someone has to be trapped, right? And that leads me to either Mephisto or Nightmare. Now, Mephisto would make a lot of sense because he rules over the hell reality. And we know that Wanda's kids are made from pieces of his soul.
Yeah.
So I think that it could actually be Wanda as the villain in Doctor Strange,
well,
which would be
we haven't really seen her as a villain. Oh, Age of Ultron, kind of, but she is
House of M. She was essentially WandaVision is essentially House of M, she's very much she's not a villain, but she's villainous in that story.
The antagonist.
So I'm pretty sure that we have no idea what we're about to get into.
I think we're going on a real roller coaster ride, baby, and I'm excited. I am.
I think people are expecting one thing and they're about to get a slap in the mouth.
Let's go. I love it.
Yeah. As far as Nightmare goes, I don't think it will be Nightmare because Scott Derrickson was originally going to use Nightmare, and he was going to have Doctor Strange 2 be like a horror movie. So when Sam Raimi took over, I think they kind of scrapped that idea. It could still be Nightmare, but Nightmare isn't necessarily trapped. You don't release Nightmare because he's part of the dream. He's not trapped there though. People that go to sleep and get transferred to the dream verse.
That Nightmare comes in. Yeah.
So I'm leaning more towards Mephisto, and then friend turned foe might be Wanda, but it's
Baron.
It's probably Baron.
That was the after credit scene in the first one was him like hinting at it.
The bill comes due. He says the bill comes due. Right. Yeah. That's his line.
Keep in mind, Dormammu was a very likely candidate. He wasn't used that much in the first one, and he is legitimately trapped.
I was going to say,
the dark realm.
And the time stone is the only thing that was holding him there.
Exactly.
Dormammu's
a very strong candidate.
Yeah, and now the time stone is reduced to ash. So I think Dormammu is going to be, he's free now. I just don't think they'll use him in movie number 2. Maybe he'll make an appearance in number 3 again.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll I think it would be too soon.
Okay. All right.
With the whole turn to ashes thing, the Enlightened One talked about branches coming off because in the original timeline, Thanos destroyed the stones in 2018.
The Ancient One.
But then
I thought he said the
Thanos from
Enlightened
2014, the Thanos we see in Endgame comes from 2014 to 2023 and dies. So that Thanos didn't live to have Infinity War or destroy the stones. So in that timeline, or the stones are still out there somewhere. You know what I mean? Because he didn't turn them to ash because he got destroyed in the future.
No. So they never specified specifically. So Cap brings back it. We're led to assume Cap brought back every stone, right?
Yeah.
But in Doctor Strange's case with the Time Stone, Doctor Strange is very much he's almost omnipotent, right? Like he's almost present in all of those branches. Doctor Strange doesn't really fall into the same category as everybody else. So
he could get a different.
He can get a different stone.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. He could have a stone. Exactly, because Doctor Strange does not fall into that kind of one branch category.
Exactly.
He's a multi-dimensional
being destroyed by Thanos may not even matter anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, very much.
Older Thanos, because Thanos came back from in time to the future. That Thanos' timeline, the stone is still, I guess, in the Sanctum Sanctorum or wherever. It's just
it should be around. It should be around Strange's neck.
Yeah,
that's where it should be.
So with the timelines, you never know. With the multiverse, you never. They just go get a time stone from somewhere else.
Yeah,
and it would not be like, oh, how'd they do that? Fans know that. Okay, it's multiverse.
You know what? Come to think of it, did we even get a scene? Oh, we did. It was Bruce receiving it from the Ancient One, right? So we're led to assume that's where Cap brought it back to her before Strange. Actually, that was before him.
Yeah. She says that the stones have to go back to exactly the points where they were taken, and that's where it was taken. So yes.
Okay.
But again, by killing Thanos in the future, this was a Thanos from 2014, right? Yep. He comes into the future by killing him, so he never goes back.
Yeah.
So that creates a whole other timeline where the events of Infinity War did not happen in another timeline, and the stones are, I'm guessing.
See, that's this right here. This conversation right here is exactly like I've heard it countless times. No matter how you try to do it, no matter how you explain it, whatever, time travel always puts some crinkles in your continuity line. You know what I'm saying? There's just no way around it because if we branch off of everything that came with Endgame. Like the possibilities are endless, right? We could sit here literally for the next week and a half and not run out of possibilities as to what could happen in this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And that, so I thought that was a cool little description.
I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited. Because it seems like WandaVision, Doctor Strange 2, and Spider-Man 3 are going to be closely connected. Yeah. And I love that Spider-Man somehow is a part of that. It's like Wanda, Doctor Strange, and then Spidey. I love that. It's such a new kind of.
Spidey is basically all on his own in New York in terms of being a vigilante. If you think about it, there's no Captain, no Iron Man. He's kind of on his own. And Doctor Strange isn't a vigilante. Like he doesn't go out solving street crimes or stopping drug lords.
Yeah.
So it's Spider-Man's kind of on his own. New York City is all in his hands right now.
And everybody knows who he is as of right now.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yes. And then I think Justice had spoken about how we haven't got much about Eternals. And
we talked about it over the weekend.
Yeah, someone sent me a picture of a leaked pop vinyl toy of
who's the guy from Game of Thrones that's going to be in it, Jack?
I have no idea.
In the Turtles movie?
Yeah.
What?
What are you talking about?
The Ninja? Did you say the Turtles movie?
No,
yeah. You're talking about Ninja Turtles, right?
No, Eternals.
Eternals. Oh, never mind. My bad. I thought you said Ninja Turtle. I thought you said.
Wait. Ready?
What in the hell?
What the hell, Bobby?
He's the eldest Stark brother.
Rob Stark. Or Kit Harington. Is it Kit Harington?
That's Jon Snow. He's the bastard.
Yeah, you're talking about the one who got killed at the wedding, right?
Yes, the Red Wedding.
Is his name Edward, right?
No. Jesus Christ. I've seen the show so many times. I can even tell you what the dude's wife's name is, and I can't remember what the guy's name is.
All right, well, regardless.
Rob Stark.
Rob Stark.
Yep. That's his fictional name in Game of Thrones.
Richard Madden. There you go.
Okay.
Richard Madden.
So
he's in the Eternals.
Yes.
But it'd be kind of cool if he was in the Turtles also. He could play Casey Jones.
Yeah. So Richard Madden, his character in the Eternals is like the leader of the Eternals. And the way he's described on the back of this box, he's very much like a Superman kind of character. And we know that the Eternals are very powerful and such. And then the woman, the girl, she's in green. I can't remember her name either. So she's been exiled, and it's because she has this secret. What we're led to believe is her secret is that she has a child, and the reason that's a secret is because she had a child, and as an Eternal, she had a child with a deviant.
You talking about Sprite?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sprite has been, and I don't know why I didn't remember that because it's a soft drink.
Did you just say soft drink?
She's been
exiled because she had a child, or this is what people think, that she had a child with a deviant. We all know that Thanos has the deviant gene.
Yeah. I was just about to ask you that, but Thanos is a 100% deviant, correct? He's not.
No, no. He's 100%. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
No, he's no. He was born from two Eternals, but he had the deviant gene. That's in the comic book.
Okay. I was under the impression he was all deviant.
No, he was born from two Eternals, but somehow had the deviant gene, which is very rare. Very rare.
So maybe because Eternals timeline is pretty far back, correct?
Yes.
So maybe you're right? Sprite has a baby with a deviant, right? That baby grows up, that's one of Thanos' parents. And nobody knows that say it's his mother, nobody knows she's half deviant. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just thinks she's full Eternal. They have a baby, boom, here comes Thanos.
Yeah.
You can do that in the MCU, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The speculation on this was maybe the MC or Marvel would tweak the background of Thanos and just straight up have Sprite's child as Thanos. And that's how we get the young Thanos. But I kind of like your idea better because it's not as direct. Yeah.
It's a more, because to my understanding, Eternals is going to go back pretty damn far. We're talking like at least a couple, like 2,000 years or something, right? Because the Celestials are still running around at this time. So we're talking very, very, Thanos is old, but he's not that old.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they got into how old he actually is.
No, I don't. No, they never did. Not in the MCU, anyways. But I believe, if my knowledge is correct, he's like 1,000, 1,500, something along those lines.
I mean, Thor's like 1,500 years old. I would imagine Thanos is even older.
True. Yeah, no, that's true. There's a possibility of that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Eternals is I think Eternals is going to be a real sleeper. People aren't going to go. Yeah, I don't think people are going to expect much out of it, and they're going to go in and be blown away.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right. Okay.
So.
I was right. He's about 1,000 years old.
Gilgamesh is also an Eternal, and the way he's described is he's like the nicest of the Eternals. And supposedly he knows about Sprite's about her secret. So therein lies, there could be a confliction right there. So we don't really know too much about it, but we got a little bit, and it's something we can at least use to speculate as to what's going on during the events of the film. Because to my knowledge, I don't know much, if not anything, about what they're planning on doing with these characters.
I think a big part of it, real quick, I Googled it. I was right. Thanos is about 1,000 years old. So I think this is going to tie into his birth. Maybe we'll see some stuff about Odin and Thor, maybe Loki as well. But that's really it. As far as like characters we know and stories we know tying into each other, I don't think we're going to get very much. I think this is very much going to be its own thing and starting a new kind of story timeline, right? Their own like section, if you will, of the MCU. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And so the Eternals, I might be making this up, but I'm pretty sure the Eternals created the mutants. No,
Celestials did, I believe. I want to say it was the Celestials. It's something, you're on the right track. I know that for sure, but I don't think it was the Eternals.
Okay. So I think another good way to bring in mutants, or at least give a background of them, and then have them show up somewhere else. So in the comments, Celestials. Okay, the Celestials created the mutants as a way, like they created the mutants to fight, right? They were experimenting in a way.
I believe it was like, it's essentially the same story that was Prometheus, basically.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I like Prometheus. Yes,
a little too complicated for my taste.
Yes, I love me a good Prometheus film. But yeah, so I again, not too much going on this week. Is there anything else that you guys have we could talk about?
I enjoyed what we did talk about today. That was fun. I'm happy.
One little bit of tidbit. HBO Max said that half of its subscribers watched Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas Day. It's been the biggest streaming video on demand movie of all time, defeating Hamilton. Because Hamilton came out on Disney Plus a couple of months ago. That had a huge release. Apparently, Wonder Woman 84 broke that. So that's the reason why they greenlit like the next day, Wonder Woman 3.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I don't think that has anything to do with the movie itself. I think that has everything to do with a big blockbuster theatrical release being released free on HBO Max. Yeah, of course, everybody watched it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you were a fan of the first film, you are automatically going to watch it. I don't think it matters. I do think there's a lot of hate going around. Not a lot of hate. I shouldn't say hate, but there are a lot of people that notice the problems. Yeah, because I know at least two out of the three in this room notice the problems.
Look at that, Jizzle. It's so weird. I'm used to being all alone, like I'm like a Spartan warrior fighting you two Persians. You know what I mean? But I actually have an ally this time. It's so weird.
I'm not denying their problems. I'm just saying, like, I kind of enjoyed it. Like, I'll put it to you this way: I would say this was still better than Captain Marvel, even though Captain Marvel was a more put together film. Really, I mean, I would say I enjoyed this more than Captain Marvel. There was enough. Maybe it's because Gal Gadot's a little bit more charming than
Captain Marvel.
I would go watch. I would go watch Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but that's a fair point, though. Gal is much more like charismatic and like charming. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
I'd rather watch that than Brie Larson screaming at the.
Here's my rebuttal. Samuel L. Jackson.
That's true.
See, there's something entertaining.
Yeah, that is true.
Hey, can you do that again one more time?
What was that?
You know when she like screams at the dude, I'm like,
It was so cringeworthy. I know. I agree.
What do you guys think?
He answers to no one, not even God, I think.
What's gonna happen? What's happening with Skrulls in the future? What do you guys think they're gonna do with these guys?
Hold on.
Because in Captain Marvel, they kind of made them
nobody. Not even God, I think.
What happened?
Oh, that was from last night. He said he hates that line from BVS, like the African woman at the Senate. He answers to no one, not even God, I think.
It's so cringy. You're like, ugh.
Isn't that your favorite movie?
Skrulls, I have no idea because they're villains in the comics, but they kind of made them more like refugees. You know, people looking for a home. They're not invaders. I think there was some kind of political kind of commentary there. So I don't know if they're gonna. Maybe they can be some bad Skrulls and some good Skrulls.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Skrulls by nature are very deceiving. Kind of, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. Kind of sneaky. Thank you, deceitful. Thank you. They're kind of sneaky, weasels by nature. That's kind of their whole thing in the Marvel universe. So I'm pretty sure, the whole Captain Marvel Skrull thing was like, oh, we can't handle her, so let us play. Let us play, sick puppy dog until our opportunity presents itself. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in the future.
I don't know, because I think just like the human race, right? You have different factions of people that are good, some are bad. I think Talos, he leads like the good group of Skrulls. But I do think there's a part of the Skrulls that we have not seen yet, and like the more comic accurate, like Secret Wars Skrulls.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Now, this is a problem I've noticed over the years. Name one movie, sci-fi or whatever, that like they go to an alien planet and every alien on that planet has essentially the same kind of personality. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but every time we've left planets in movies in this new civilizations, they all act exactly the same. Like it seems like humans are the only ones who are diverse within.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. I would say maybe Guardians of the Galaxy. What's the planet where they store the Power Stone?
No. Nowhere has the Reality Stone. My God.
With Glenn Close, and apparently Thanos destroyed it off screen. Oh my God, Glenn Close is there.
Sandor, right?
Yeah.
Xandar, yeah. Like, that place kind of seemed very Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. You had different races and different ethnicities.
Yeah.
That was like the only one I can think of. Like, you're right. Hey, this is in all sci-fi. Like every planet, the people will be like a race. Like they're all the same all over.
Yeah.
I have to pause myself because I gotta let Logan upstairs, but I don't want to end yet. So
are we still live?
I just don't want you to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I'm not done. I'm not done yet. So.
Yeah, it is. It's Xandar. We were right. It's Xandar. Yeah. So, but at the same time, Jack, Xandar was kind of like was essentially just.
Shut the fuck up.
Like, Drizzle, you're still. Drizzle, come.
We can hear you.
Don't talk to my dog like that.
We get like cited by the SPCA or something like that. They're like, he was abusing his dog.
That's so funny. So what I was gonna say is that Xandar in that movie was essentially like the Men in Black base, right?
Okay.
Like, all different, like you said, a bunch of different races, but they're all from different planets.
Yeah, it's true. And
I've noticed this over years, and I'll never understand why. And I'm pretty sure it's just because like it takes way too much writing to be able to do that. But like in every media I've ever seen, whenever we leave planet, everybody's exactly the same on that planet, with the exception of humans.
And in like Star Trek, like the Klingons are always angry. The Klingons are always like angry, violent.
Exactly.
The Ferengi are always sneaky, and like maybe in today's political world that might be seen as a negative thing. Like, dude, you can't show a whole race of people.
The loophole is that I've always noticed. The loophole for any kind of PC or FCC, it's robots, aliens, and usually like monsters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That they can get away with stuff like that because he's a purple man with pointy ears. He doesn't. Yeah. We're good. Like we can make fun of them because they don't exist, right? Robots. You can show a guy stabbing a robot in the face because at the end of the day, it's a robot. He just looks like a person. You see, looks like a person. Yeah. Yeah. That's like media loopholes right there.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, we did like 2 hours on BVS last night.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was I'm not joining that. I would have ruined that for y'all.
Well, are you gonna help? Do you want to still get involved when we do like the when they do the episodes? I was thinking we could do like a post show.
Like Justice League, yeah, of course, absolutely. We've been talking about that. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm going to him. We're gonna watch it at his house. We're gonna do the whole 9. I'm gonna stop at the store, get some snacks, show up to his house. We'll watch it, immediately jump on camera. Same way we did Wonder Woman. I'm gonna jump on camera immediately after. Absolutely, of course, I'll be there. Yeah,
that's good. I'm hoping like we can do that more with those people. The people at Showcase.
Yeah, in case you guys watching didn't know, Showcase Cinemas was nice enough to allow us to do our Wonder Woman review from the theater. They gave us a nice little setup. They hooked it up with a table, gave them some snacks, some posters. It was really dope. They gave us a free showing in the Drizzle. What's it called again? Their IMAX. What is it? X Plus.
X Plus.
Yes. So they gave us a free showing in the X Plus room. It was really dope and it was really cool. So you guys make sure you go check out that video, man, because it was really dope. And shout out to Showcase for letting us do it. We appreciate you.
Yeah, the podcast version, the audio of it has about 600 plays. So
that's what's up.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
if any video should perform, it's that one. It was really cool.
The most plays that we've ever received on the audio platform. Yeah. We always get a lot more on the audio side of things because there's a lot more countries and a lot more platforms.
Yeah, and we're a podcast, and that's kind of that's how podcasts are meant to be heard.
No, the most we've ever got, the most ever we pushed was like 789. So this is still climbing. So
nice.
It's doing well.
Nice.
So I'm happy to report that, and you can send that back to Showcase as well.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah. Free advertisement, baby.
Yeah. Yes, and we got a lot more in store. Got a lot of things in the works. I believe, Jack, did you say you have Christian set up as of now?
Yeah, Chris, man. He wants to do it next week. Did you want to do that with me, or do you want Justice to do it?
That's all you guys, kid.
That's you guys. All right, so Justice, I'll work with you. Yeah. He says anytime next week. I know, like with your work schedule, it's a little bit wonky. Would you want to pick
be best to do it this time next week? Quick dip.
What's today? Wednesday. All right. Well, we do Quick Trip, right? Don't we?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
I'll sit in on it, but I'll be. Yeah, I'll I'll sit in on it just like I did last time, but behind the scenes, and I'll play with the graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to do it live, or would you want to record it and upload it?
I don't know. Ask him.
Alice Bam. Pow! Did it work? Did you get a coffee?
I wish for a coffee.
No. Did it work?
No, but ask him what he would rather do. I don't think I don't think he has projects in the works that like can't be talked about. I usually just don't do live stuff with people that could say the wrong thing, say something that could get them in trouble. But if he's okay with doing it live, that's fine. If not, that's okay too. Whatever he wants is fine. I reached out to the Warner Brothers employee today as well. So we'll try to set that up, and then we'll hear back from Call of Duty guy very soon, hopefully.
Yeah, Chad Collins, he's down. He emailed me. He's like, I'm just really tied up during the holidays. I'll let you know afterwards. But he is down to do it. So for those of you who are wondering, he plays Alex in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the reboot. He was in the campaign, and of course, he's going to get his skin in the multiplayer. So,
yeah, that'll also be just you guys because I wouldn't know what to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really Drizzle. I mean, just for future, because you're gonna have to come with me eventually. But in the future, I think you would like talking to these dudes because they do a lot of mocap, a lot of the stuff you see, like they do on the set of Mandalorian. They do in video games, so you would absolutely you would like it.
Yeah.
You saw Nick. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
But yeah, and we're also raising money for my mother's breast cancer. So if you have a couple extra dollars and you afford to, if you can afford it, I don't want anyone breaking the bank or hurting themselves by this, but if you can afford to donate a couple dollars here and there, everything is definitely much appreciated. It's towards her medical bills and other, chemotherapy, prescription costs, pretty much anything to get her to focus on just getting better rather than worrying about the bills piling up. She's more the type that will just lose herself in this whole thing. So anything we can do to make that better is, it's just a plus. I thank you guys for coming and doing this today, as always, on Wednesdays. It's a routine at this point, I think. But
stop saying thank you for me coming.
I always say
I have to.
I
have to be here.
I always say thank you. It's something nice to say.
Exactly. You should always say thank you.
Always say please and thank you, people, children.
And hold the doors and pull out chairs. Easy on the swears.
Right. Tip your fedora.
It's a Will Smith thing.
Oh.
I'm gonna call you Candy.
Cuban
My
cigar.
friend,
it's for the look. I don't light it. I just bite it.
Just bite it. Yeah. But all right. On that note,
but it was weird.
On that corny Will Smith line.
Yes. Thank you to everyone who stopped by tonight, and thank you to everyone who will stop by in the future. We do it for you.
We do it for the culture. Holla.
Do it for you, and we do it for the culture.
Bye.
I love him.
Right.